Man, I remember back when it was 2010, we were at the gym. I never forget it. Donaghy Student Center, University of Arkansas, Little Rock. We were hooping. We had the Bluetooth speaker over there, and somebody actually ended up playing Drake's first song over. I was hooping. That sounds good, bro. What is that? He was like, oh, bro, this is by this dude named Drake. He's like, man, he got some mixtapes out there. It's like, okay, cool. I'll take a look. And that's when it happened. Right? 2010 was my first taste of Drake, and now coming into 2021, he just dropped his new Scary Hours 2 EP. I had an opportunity to listen to it the other day. One of my high school students was like, Coach, you heard that new Drake yet? And I was like, no, I ain't heard it yet. He was like, man, you gotta go listen to it. So in today's episode, we're actually going to unpack some of the success secrets, some of the things that he actually really said that a lot of people might have missed in Scary Hours Part 2. And so, hey guys, it's Corey, and this is Culture Chaser, bringing you weekly relevant and real encouragement to improve your life. And on this channel, we give you a bunch of strategies, resources, and perspective to help you chase your personal success. So if you're new here, consider subscribing for social content media daily. You want to follow us at Culture Chaser. Guys, show notes are always down below, and we'll drop a link to where you can, if you haven't caught the EP yet, where you can go listen to it. I know that I mentioned it was back in 2010 where I had personally first heard Drake, but actually reality is, man, since 2006 with his mixtape that he released while he was actually shooting Degrassi, Rooms for Improvement, and then in 2007 comeback season, he was already laying down foundational work years before I ever heard him. It's almost as if we're kindred spirits. Yeah, you heard it first. Here, me and Drake are kindred spirits. I know he's a little lighter complexion than I am, but don't worry about that. And so when I was listening to Scary Hours 2 just the other day, I sat down, I listened. I always love to listen to it a couple times. I just heard it right through, and then I listened to it again, and then boom, it happened. I pulled out my notepad and I got to work. And so there's three secrets that inside of Scary Hours 2 that you may have not been aware of. You guys know on this channel, we always try to find relevant and real success principles in our current culture. And so after listening to Scary Hours 2, man, I got 3 nuggets for you guys that Drake might have intended as an Easter egg hunt for you. I mean, Easter is coming up, right? Secret success of Drake. Here we go. Number 1, the power of the mind. You got to understand that the mind is the ultimate tool that you have to get you to from where you are to where you're going. Drake never said this, but it always, every time I listen to when he starts referring to the power of the mind, and I always think the thought of the mindset over the skill set, mindset, attitude, and perspective over the practice. So many people say, well, if I just practice long enough, then I'll be good at it. Well, really, it starts with the mindset. It starts with the right attitude and the right perspective about the skill that you may or may not have. Mindset over skill set says that you must first develop the mindset before you can get the skill set. Drake is no doubt a phenomenal rapper, right? There's no question about that. But the mindset came first. He understood probably that the persistence and the passion and the practice that he's going to have to put into in order to be one of the greatest of all time, right? And so mindset first. But what if he didn't have that mindset? What if he had the wrong mindset? I'm almost willing to bet that to become the type of person that you want to become, to get to the highest levels of global recognition and impact, right? You're going to have the right mindset. His last album talked about his home screen on his computer is now where he lives at. Man, guys, that's powerful. I don't really understand if you really get that. What he's really saying is you have to first visualize before you can actualize. Let me say that again so you can catch that. Visualization comes before actualization. You can't be what you can't see. Now, here's the deal. A lot of y'all, a lot of people go out, they look at fancy cars, look at fancy houses, and say, yeah, one day I'm gonna live there. That's great. But here's the reality. The bridge between visualization and actualization is work. It's work. You can have all the dreams and aspirations you want, but without real work, it'll never become a reality. Nothing else matters but the action that you decide to take. Not the plans, not the ideas, not the notepad that you write it down on, not the meditation in the morning. Nothing matters but action. You have to take massive action in order to really move your life in the direction that you want to. Drake said, man, I said I had it before I had it. Come on now, somebody's out. I mean, that's so good right there. You have to start speaking life. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You have to start speaking what you want for your life. So the power of the mind, right? Visualization before actualization, but the bridge between visualization and actualization is work. I said I had it before I had it. Speaking the right words, speaking life over your life, speaking prosperity, speaking generosity, speaking gratitude. He's always grateful for the opportunity that Lil Wayne and Young Money gave him so many years ago. And he's never hesitant to talk about that in any of his songs. Number 2, association. The power of association. Drake is so quick and reminds us so often to say, guys, here's the reality. You are who you hang around. That's why I keep my family, and that's why I keep my boys who's been down with me since, room for improvement, when we all had room to improve. They were back with me since then, right? And guys, here's the reality. People that are in your circle may not be in your corner. You have to develop a maturity to discern the difference in relationships. Drake never said this, but the reality is the speed of your life is going to be dependent on the quality of relationships that you have. Are you in relationships that are going to accelerate and open access doors to you that you've never had opportunities to before? Are you in relationships that are going to halt and hold your progression and your purpose? The ability to distinguish between good relationships and bad relationships, Drake's talking about it all the time in his music, is what we call maturity. Association is important, but make sure you're associating with the right people. The third point, man, the third success principle in Drake's newest album, Drake's newest EP, Lastly, struggle. Drake is always talking about struggle. He's always talking about his personal struggle, right? Always talking about how he was overlooked for so many years. And the reality, guys, is this, that Drake embodies his struggle because he knows that his struggle is going to shape his survival. The reason why he's been so hot for so long is because he embodied his struggle. He used his struggle as his source and motivation for his music. You can't listen to an album in the last 10 years and says there's been no song that Drake's ever talked about his struggle. He talks about it every single time, not every single time in all of his music, but he talks about his struggle, how he went from where he was and to where he's at now, how he was humbled and then now he's hot. Man, Drake never really said this, but the reality is, man, don't be so many people are so quick to get out of the situation, to get out of a place of discomfort, right back up against the wall, whatever you may have it. But here's the truth, team. Don't be so quick to get out of the situation, because while you're in that situation, maybe you're supposed to put something inside of you. Everything that you have right now is everything that you say you're missing. I challenge you to change your perspective on how can I use this area, this space, this place that I'm in right now to my advantage, right? That's exactly what Drake made. That's exactly what Drake talks about in his music. If you listen to what he's actually saying with real levels of intention, that's what I like to do. I mean, yes, it's entertaining, but I listen to it for the educational value because I know there may be some in there. Drake's EP just came out, so I know the album's right around the corner. Don't have any definite date. This is not a channel that predicts release dates and things like that really review on music, but I was so moved by what I heard from Scary Hours 2 that I just had to make a video on it, on the success principles that were hidden inside of that. Remember, the power of the mind, association, and how you can use that to leverage a better position for your life. And then lastly, learning how to use struggle, man. These are all things that Drake talks about in all his music. So until next time, guys, like, comment, subscribe, share, ring that bell so that you never miss an episode. Take care.